working, can't be wrong. I'm just wondering why you've been gone too long. You've been gone too long. Time to head back home. You gotta stay strong. You gotta pray on. Gotta help you get it right. We ain't perfect. At times we get it wrong. Come back home. You've been gone too long. You believe like I believe. We gon' pray. You need a shoulder to lean on, it's the place. About to start any second. Prayer explosion session. Join us, hear our message. Thanking God for our blessings. Yes, I'm so blessed. I feel better confessing. We pushing out love in every direction. Spiritual education, dedication. Loyalty to God first, motivation. If it's great, I know it's God's work, no hesitation. Hey, come and join the band, cause the band is amazing. When it's God's work, it can't be wrong. I'm just wondering why you've been gone too long. You've been gone too long. Time to head back home. You gotta stay strong. You gotta pray on. When it's God's work, it can't be wrong. I'm just wondering why you've been gone too long. You've been gone too long. Time to head back home. You gotta stay strong. You gotta pray on.
Welcome to Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free TV, where love and unity is spread throughout every show. No bullying or scrutinizing will be tolerated, because this is the Judgment Free Zone. Anything you hear is for entertainment purposes only. Too Gone, Too Long is not reliable for the opinions of others. Thank you for your support and enjoy the show.
Mic, let me turn on my mic. Hey. What's going on to all my people, all my beautiful people out there? Welcome to Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free TV. Man, what a night. I am so excited about tonight, and I cannot wait. I'm talking about we have a good show lined up for you today. You already know this is the place where we actually empower, enrich, and encourage you to do better than you were yesterday, because this year it's time to do what? Bet on you. That's what we're doing this year, is betting on ourselves. And so, hey, we gonna empower you tonight. That's what we're doing, because I got an amazing queen. She been doing her thing, man. I had the opportunity to actually get the opportunity to meet her and talk to her a little bit, man. It's amazing where you meet people, right? And so, hey, I am excited. Y'all don't know, I'm probably overjoyed, okay, for this interview as well. This is what I love to do. You already know. And for everybody that don't know, hey, I'm Lady V, the Queen Pen, baby. Yes, that's who I am. I am your favorite life coach, you know, your favorite host and all that good stuff. Let me put everything on mute. Y'all know people be like Kyle and do all kind of weird stuff. But hey, we in this thing, baby. We in this thing. So welcome again. All around the globe, from the north, south, east, and west, and of course, again, all around the globe, I welcome you to Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free TV. And we are in the building today. And today, man, Volleyball to Designer with Miss Meika, baby. It's going down. And you don't want to miss this segment. While you at it, please make sure that you actually is sharing out the show. Sharing is caring. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Sharing is caring. So make sure that you share out the show. Let your friends and family know that it's going down right here in the building. And this is where they want to be, okay? So come on in, and let's get cozy with one another as we get empowered, enriched, and encouraged to do great things, okay? So y'all know I don't want to keep our guests waiting too long. And so let me go on and be able to introduce our guest of the hour, okay? So Meika Wagner was born on September the 14th, 1973 in Fontana, California, and spent most of her childhood, adolescent, and teen years engulfed in the world of sports. Prior to unearthing her inner creative, she graduated from the University of Southern California in 1995 as a two-time All-American and three-time All-Pac-10 selection in the sports of volleyball with a BA in political science. Over the span of nearly 20 years, she went on to play professionally for various European clubs, competed for the United States national team, and coached for several years at the juniors club level. While living in Italy, she discovered and cultivated her passion for fashion. I love that saying right there, her passion for fashion, a journey that began when with deconstructing her own clothes, morphed into personalizing t-shirts, baseball caps, and Adidas tracksuits by painting on and hand beating them, and eventually led to further curiosity. She decided to attend fashion school at the age of 33, where she received technical training in women's wear design at Instituto Sacoli in Bologna and Milan, respectfully. Wagner then began freelancing as a designer while further delving into the world of the arts via dear friend, mentor, artist, and Italian contemporary jewelry designer Alberta Vita. The two would ultimately collaborate on the 2011 exhibit Humane Vanities, where Wagner's tall draped, second mountain tall draped mannequins were coupled with Vita's artistic contemporary jewelry against the backdrop of the 16th century Ontario de San Rocco School of San Rocco in Padua, Italy's historic city. During the period, Wagner had also been serendipitously playing on a team for Coach Wo's family owned a small company that manufactured leather goods. They knew she was interested in fashion and generously allowed her to spend time with them learning about certain aspects of their business. After only one day, surrounded by pattern makers, sewers, machinery, hardware, and leather samples, she was smitten and knew she found her niche. Wagner furiously began sketching handbags, patterning the sketches, and sewing fabric versions of them. And let me tell y'all something right there. Man, I saw some of these in person, okay? And I got to see one of her handbags. And when I tell you fierce, I was like, oh, okay. Well, you better work it then. You better work it. And I'm telling you, if y'all have not seen them, man, wait till you do, okay? They are fabulous, okay? So upon returning to the US in 2015, she continued to freelance, working as an assistant for Los Angeles-based designer Adolfo Sanchez, who featured some of her handbag creations in his 2017 runway show entitled The New Hollywood during Los Angeles Fashion Week. She also served as a mentor and group home counselor for at-risk foster youth and assistant volleyball coach at the University of Idaho for 3 seasons while continuing to design and create bags for her line. Studio by Meika, established in 2017. Currently, Meika divides her time between Southern California and Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she continues to both create as well as serve as a technical director and coach for a local youth volleyball club. Hey, I don't know about you, but when I tell you this lady right here is super, super duper awesome, I mean, she is super duper duper awesome. Like I said, I got the opportunity to meet her in person, and her conversation was so bang. Her personality was so bubbly, just like her purses. Man, I'm telling you, she was so amazing. And I am so glad to be able to share her with you guys today so you can get her story and we can learn so much about this amazing, amazing, beautiful queen that we're about to bring to the stage. So please, 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 please put your hands together and give a warm, warm, warm welcome for my friend, Miss Meika Wagner.
Hello. Thank you, Lady B, for the wonderful intro. How are you?
I am good, darling. I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just putting one foot in front of the other, taking things one day at a time. And
Baby, that's all
I'm
you
happy
can do.
happy to be above ground every day.
Amen. That's a blessing right there.
It
A great
is.
thing.
It
Yes, it
is.
is.
It is.
Yes, it is. Well, I am so glad that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule.
Oh,
So
no doubt.
please feel free to share with the world and tell the world exactly who you are, because can't nobody introduce you like you, right? So, so please share with us, okay?
I mean the bio, that's pretty much me in a nutshell, career wise. Person wise, I think I'm very different than what those words are on the paper. There's a lot of layers to peel off the onion. I've learned a lot about life probably in the last 3 to 4 years, I would say. Um, I'm almost 50, so I've been here for a minute, but like my dad says, you don't know what you don't know, and it's always good to learn and continue learning. And I've just learned a ton over the last 3 to 4 years. In particular with 2020, just being the powder keg and bomb that it was for everybody.
For real.
For everybody, between COVID and between unearthing the ugliness of racism that's always been there, but at least it was a cordial racism. Now it has no
Right.
proof anymore. It's very
It's
much
not
in
cordial
your
at
face.
all.
And so growing up, I didn't my parents did a pretty solid job, and my grandparents of shielding me from a lot of that. At the end of the day, I was a double-edged sword, because it allowed me to to succeed and to not think about a lot of things. I learned how to compartmentalize, which is a necessary thing when you're a Black woman living in America. If I were to stop and think about every time there was a macro or a microaggression, or some time that somebody told me I couldn't do it or couldn't be or wouldn't make it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be somewhere in a straitjacket.
That'll make two of us, okay?
Drooling on myself. But there was a big reckoning, even for me, in 2020. At the time I was living and working in Idaho, which is like 98% white, 97 point something percent white. And I was in Panhandle, Idaho, which wasn't very far from where the Aryan Nation was established. And so even though, you didn't see that element out every day, there's a lot of sentiment and history there. The town that I actually lived in was a sundown town. And, in that stint of 3 years that I was at the University of Idaho, I was actually run out of my house. And it was, or my apartment, my living quarters. And it was eye-opening for me, because all of the things, that you read about, or that your grandparents told you about, or that your parents might have mentioned, about the 40s and 50s and 60s, it was in my face, And so, it really did trigger and just open up a lot of mini Pandora's boxes within myself, emotional ones that I was, used to compartmentalizing and just putting away and stifling, so that I could move forward. And, it really just exploded. And, I had to actually go to therapy, which is, was very taboo in the Black community. But I think, this younger generation, and just having, again, to deal with COVID, like we've never dealt with the pandemic before, not knowing, what that was going to be or do or look like, in conjunction with 2020 and George Floyd and the elections and all of these things. I know I personally reached a breaking point and was like, you want to know what? Let me go handle this, because
man,
you know, again, I think the younger generation has given, you know, permission for us to be okay, you know, with that journey where, you know, as before it was taboo, we didn't really have the language for, you know,
Right.
what anxiety was, or, you know, was that uncle or auntie
Hmm.
that's a little off, or, you know, so-and-so's a little cray cray, or, you know, we
Right.
didn't really have like the,
Right.
we didn't, you know, we all got them in our family, somebody. So,
And
uh,
do. And we all know about that one,
we
okay?
all know
Some of
somebody.
it is us. We just
Yeah,
saying, we
for
just
real. You know,
you
and
know.
so at the end of the day, you know, I think, you know, they've given us permission to embrace a necessary journey, in my opinion, you know, to be
Hmm.
able to start to
Hmm.
peel back these layers and to kind of little by little find a way to be at peace with yourself, at peace with the state of things, at peace with the state of the world. Um, I went through a phase over these last couple of years, I would say, um, where, I mean, I guess James Baldwin said it best when he had a quote, something along the lines of, you know, to be a Negro, a conscious Negro in America is to be in a consistent state of rage, paraphrasing it. And,
Hmm.
you know, something that I had compartmentalized or ignored or just found a way to work around, you know, all of a sudden it was in my face. And as a, you know, as a Black woman, um, and as a Black person, you know, of African descent, because at the end of the
Right.
day, you know, that's what it is. It's like, wow, you know, I have to acknowledge this, and
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
going to be painful, but you know, I acknowledged it, and I'm still kind of going through some of the myriad of feelings of it, and things like that. But that's where the creative vein comes in handy. That's my coping skill, is creating.
And you know what? I love that you said that, because a lot of times people don't understand that we actually have to find something to be able to cope with all the things that we go through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And for a lot of us, that's being creative,
Hmm.
you know? And when we get the opportunity to actually do that, it actually gives us a sense of peace, a sense of hope, a sense of just calmness and understanding. It makes us feel like we can actually continue to push forward, even when we feel like the world is beating us up all the time. And so, my question to you would be,
Hmm.
through that process,
Hmm.
what would you say has really been your most, I don't want to say traumatic, but hardest time to really just come through and just cope with the things that's going on in your daily, just to get through? Like, what would you say has been really the hardest?
Um, I'll give you an example of two hard moments. One of them was when I got divorced after 14 years
Mm,
of being with my ex-husband. So that was a really tough, it was a really tough moment. And I remember just being a turtle and just kind of going into a
mm,
shell, hanging with people, you know, with whom I felt safe. Um, and I was able to really just delve in and just be creative. I healed through creativity. That was really in the moment when, you know, it was shortly after I'd finished fashion school. And it was right in the moment where I was just trying to, you know, experiment and figure some things out. And in that period, I taught myself how to make handbags. That's where that
that's
came from.
nice.
Um, you know, a lot of you know, a lot of things come from pain, creative things, and then the artists will never tell you that. I mean, you can hear it more like with singers, or, you know, songwriters, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
writers in particular. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, with people that, you know, do arts and crafts or fashion, or you know, other types of you know, artistic ways to express themselves, you don't necessarily know that some of the, you know, things that, you know, that they make come from, you know, trying to heal in a place of pain. And I would
Right.
say the other thing, difficult moment, and is basically just 2020 until now. And I'm still working through it and processing it. Because again, going to therapy meant, um, unpeeling all the layers of the onion, like all the way back to my childhood, my teen years,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my young adulthood. You know, by
Mm-hmm.
young adulthood, I was already in Europe. I moved to Europe when I was 21 years old. But, and then you go and look at the choices that you made. Some were great choices, some were terrible choices, and you kind of start to connect all the dots and link it together. And it is a freeing process, but it is a painful process nonetheless. And sometimes you don't have the energy or the emotional inventory to go through it. And you just have to give yourself grace that day. And some of those days are the days where I just sit down at my sewing machine and just go. Or I grab a pencil and paper, or my pattern paper and some scissors, and just try to bring myself back into a balanced space in that way.
Which is always a good thing, man. People don't understand that sometimes you got to find your balance. You got to find your balance,
Yeah.
And you right when you said that it's about peeling all the layers off. People don't understand that, because a lot of times we just want to put a Band-Aid on it. We just want to put a Band-Aid and keep it pushing. But they don't understand that when you go through therapy, you're going for a reason. And a lot of times it actually stems back from your childhood years. So you got to actually go back, and you really have to pull out everything. And it's all about being honest with you. So when you were going through this, did you feel like being like that point in your life, it was hard for you to really just be honest with you? Or was you actually just ready to let it all go and just be like, you know what? I don't want it anymore.
I'm going to say I didn't have a problem being honest with me. I'm very much a straight shooter, for better, for worse. And I definitely get that from my grandmother. She had, God bless her.
I think a lot of us did.
She did not sugarcoat anything at all, ever. So, I've always been a straight shooter, and I've always relished in the idea of being able to sleep at night, and just to be, as straightforward as I can be with the people that I come in contact with, and in turn myself. So that really wasn't the bigger problem. It was being honest with myself. It was just being ready to be like, okay, I don't want this anymore. I need to take some of the rocks out of the backpack. Like, I think when we go through life, we have this backpack, and we pick up rocks and we put them in the backpack as you go. Whether they're big traumas or little traumas or successes or failures or whatever it is. And then you get to a certain point where you're like, oh man, I'm strong, I'm resilient. I've got this. Because your culture tells you that you have to be resilient. Society forces you to have to be resilient. Especially again as a Black woman, and as a dark-skinned Black woman.
Come on now.
You just have to be resilient. You can't quit. You can't give up. You got to be 10 times better. You got to be 10 times faster. You got to be 10 times smarter. That's to even get a shot at having a shot. And there's no guarantee at the end of the day that you're going to get a seat at the table. And so you forget about that backpack, and you're just like, oh man, I'm strong. And then one day, you're like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. You find that you have less emotional reserve, that you have, less patience. You just, you don't want to do anything. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm being lazy. I'm not doing this. I'm not accomplishing this. I'm not doing that, And at the end of the day, it's like, you got to start taking rocks out of the backpack.
Right.
And, you can do a little bit on your own. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need that person or people that, that aren't, attached to your, emotional anything. They don't know you. Their job is to listen and maybe give you the tools that are going to make something click for you to take another step forward. And so, I think now that I'm staring, half a century in the face, literally.
I know, right? It came up so fast. I was like, wait a minute, wait.
Oh, yeah, big. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. I was just in the 90s at my home.
Right.
In the club. We're having a good time.
Man, kicking it, pop, locking it, dropping it,
Fitty. FIDDY. So,
man.
So, now that I'm looking at that, this third, I guess I like to look at it as a third chapter of my life, because, you're a girl, and then you hit adolescence, you have your period, and then you're a woman, and then you hit 50 and your period goes away, and you get into this menopausal zone. And it's like, okay, like this is it. Like, I'm in the third phase. So, as I enter that, I just want it to be more peaceful, amidst all of this chaos that's happening around us, I want it to be more peaceful. I want to have less rocks in my bag. You know, be in as many safe spaces as I can, you know, with people and in situations where I feel emotionally safe, you know, and, you know, keep circle small at the end of the day.
I think that's the main thing. People don't understand. The smaller your circle is, the more peace you actually will find that you have within you, within just your whole atmosphere. You know, I mean, my house is super quiet, you know, other than my Bible study babies. You know, they come and they rock out with me sometimes, and they always be like, Miss T, your house is so quiet. I know. This is my peace. You know what I'm saying? I know. Don't y'all want some of it? Shh. You know, but hey, it is what it is, man. But I definitely understand. You got to have that zen. You gotta, and if you keep your circle small, you can definitely have that. So I heard you say you was in Europe at the age of 21, and a lot of people get a lot of things misconstrued when they're over here compared to over there. And so I like to set the facts straight.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question will be, did you find that you had more racism here in America, or did you have to also deal with racism over there in Europe as well?
Here, 10 toes down 100 times and 52 times on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All day, every day here.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that you don't experience a type of racism or a type of systematic oppression or bigotry or things like that, or prejudice when you're overseas. But because those cultures aren't rooted in 400 years of chattel slavery and Jim Crow and all of these things, it's very different. One of the things, and it's funny because I remember when I came back in 2015, and just off the plane, I felt it immediately. Like I got in the plane, and I think I was flying Air France via Holland or something or other, whatever. And so I remember getting on the plane and I'm walking to my seat, and you know, there were a lot of Americans, you know, going back to America from whatever their vacation or their work trips were, whatever. And I remember getting to the plane, you know, getting to my seat, and there was a white woman there, and she just looked at me like, oh God, like I have to move my stuff. And she didn't move her things. And I'm like, excuse me, you know, this is my seat. And so, you know, she looked at me kind of foul, and then, you know, moved over. And it's funny because I caught the stewardess's eye, and she was kind of like perplexed, and she spoke French and Italian, and my French is terrible. But I kind of hack Frenched it to her. I said, you know, Americans tend to be very arrogant, if that's what that look is that you're giving me. And I finished in Italian, and she understood in Italian, and we were exchanging, you know, in Italian. And then I sat down, and all of a sudden this woman took interest in me. Oh, like, well, what language were you speaking? And oh, this and that and the other. And I just looked at her. I said, look, ma'am, you didn't have any intention of speaking to me, you know, when I needed to sit down. I said, so let's just keep it that way for the next 13 hours. I'm cool. You know, we don't have to, I'm cool where I am. You're cool where you are. You know, it's okay. You know, and so that was literally my first experience after, you know, having been overseas for 20 years. And I'd come home and visit, you know, for summers and things like that. But, you know, 2015, it was like the last year of, you know, Barack Obama, and everybody's dream of this equality and democracy. And okay, we got a Black president, America's made it. And no, you know, so when I came back in 2015, it was like right in the beginning of Trump. So for me, the contrast was so stark, having been in Europe when, you know, people would write articles like, you know, if I play in a match, people would write articles. When I was in Germany, they would describe me as a schwarze Perle, which literally means black pearl. Or when I was in Italy, they would say la pantera graffiante, which means like the striking panther. But it wasn't anything, you know, I come over here and it's like monkey, monkey, monkey. Right? Over there, they're calling me Black Pearl and freaking.
Right, you know, right. You're great.
I'm like, I'm cool. You know, I'm cool with it. Not to say that there isn't a level of fetishization, because there is, But
Mhm.
I mean, I
Mhm.
would literally have like Italians come up to me, and mind you, they got their own problems, discriminating amongst themselves, actually, Northern against the Southern Italians, but that's a whole other ball of wax. But they would come up to me like, oh my God, like your skin is so beautiful. We lay out for hours to be like that, you
Hmm.
know? And so it was a different kind of, I don't know, it was a hybrid between fetishization and appreciation.
Right.
I didn't feel like there was any kind of like cultural disrespect behind it. I genuinely felt like it was, complimentary.
Okay.
Um, I definitely did not experience just that whole vibe of the weight of my skin
Right.
in Europe. I think
Right.
that's why I stayed for so long. I played far beyond how, what I should have played.
Right.
But it was so nice not having that weight,
Mhm.
of my blackness there. You
Right.
know, I remember this was so funny, and kids will tell it. When I was coaching the juniors club up there, I also ran summer camps, and I would do an art lab. It was like a volleyball summer camp, but I would, kind of do a hybrid with like art and things like that. So I had an art lab, and I had these two little kids in there. Most of the kids were anywhere between like 8 and 13, but I had two little ones. They were like 5 and 6.
Mm.
And so one of the projects was, okay, I said, all right, everybody get paper, get your colors, whatever. You can use whatever colors you want, do whatever you want. I said, you're going to pick a partner and sit across from each other, and you guys are going to draw each other. So one of the little girls, her name was Ariana, she sits across from me, and she said, and she starts drawing me, and everybody finished their pictures. And Ariana, she drew me white. So she used like a peach marker to color me, and she wasn't even thinking twice about it. She's like, do, whatever,
Right.
whatever.
Of course, because they don't
So
see color.
so Tommaso, this little kid was a cold piece of work. He's about 5, little blonde kid, just all this curly hair. And he goes up to Ariana and he's like, Ariana, teacher's not white, she's brown. Here, I'm gonna draw her. So he draws me, finds like the super dark chocolate marker, draws up the hair, all this. And then I look really close, and it's got like these little black lines on my lip. And he's like, I'm like, Tommaso, what are those black lines? He's like, teacher, that's your mustache. I'm like, well, time to get a wax. So it's funny.
Kids.
Oh, kids don't care.
Oh, they don't. I love them. I love
It's
them, boy. They do
it's
not play.
funny. They
They
don't
keep your 10
play.
toes down for
They
sure.
do, and they don't care. And I got the opportunity to work with like a lot of cool, young people out there. Never ever did I hear any of those kids say anything like derogatory about anyone. Not even joking about it. And then sometimes they'd be like, hey, Meika, they'd listen to hip hop, and one of them would be like, nigga, and I'd be like, we don't say that. And they're like,
Right.
well, how come? And I'm like, okay, this is a long story.
Right.
But, and
right.
so I think I had to do that maybe once with the kid, and then, the kid understood. And so it's completely different. Completely different.
It is.
Totally different.
It is. Wow. That is just so neat. Like, you always hear people like, especially over here, they always, they don't like us over there. I'm like, they actually like us better across the sea than they do in our own country. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you got so many different outlooks on things, and so I like to share and enlighten people, for the naysayers, and for those who feel like we aren't loved, or we aren't liked in other countries, because we really are.
I will say, I don't mean to interrupt you. I will say though that there's a general, and they call it the ugly American. There's a general disdain for Americans, but I think it stems from, we're very capable, and when I say we, I say a collective we, focusing on the demographic of who's able to travel extensively overseas, because it's not a lot of people that look like me,
right?
and not a lot, And so, you know, and this ain't to throw, you know, this isn't to throw any shade. This is percentages.
This
This is
real.
what it is. This is real.
Right. This is
You know,
reality.
a lot of them are like, oh my gosh, Meika, you're American. You're so different. Like, you try to speak our language. You try to eat our food. You're not rude. You know, I can't tell you how many times I heard that from people that I played with from all over the globe: China, Russia, Thailand, Cuba, Japan, Bulgaria, I mean, Ukraine. I mean, I've had teammates from all over the world, and I can tell you every last one of them was like, oh, you're different. You're like not the typical American, you know? And so it's like, well, you know, who y'all been dealing with? You know,
right. It makes you wanna know.
You know, and so, you know, I just, there is that kind of ugly American thing where, you know, we want to go and kind of, I think culturally at times just impose who we think we are on other people's cultures and kind of, you know, poo-poo them and kind of look down on them and things like that. And that to me is the worst thing you can do. I think I was just so blessed to have been able to travel so early and, you know, to be able to see how other people live, like, you know, and take an interest in it and take an interest in their day to day and what do their politics look like and what does their culture look like. And I just was so blessed to be able to do that. I started traveling at 18 when I was on like the junior national team and things like that. And then I ended up, you know, staying overseas for a long time. But, you know, there's so much that we can learn from people from other cultures and other countries and other realities. And, you know, I think as a collective, as Americans, we're very much closed off to that idea because we think we have all the answers.
we think we have all the answers.
Yeah,
so
we think we have all the answers, and we don't.
And we don't.
And not to say that any other places, you know, is perfect, because every place has their, you know, their pros and cons. But I've always been the type of person that, you know, if I can learn something, you know, there's no, like my dad says often, he's like, you know, there's no cookie cutter, you know, answer for a lot of situations. You know, there's a cookie cutter answer for 1 + 1 is 2. It's 2, stamp 2. That's it. That's what it is. But when you get into the nuances of life and the shades of gray, you know, there is no cookie cutter answer for everything and everyone, because we're all so different. And so, you know, I just learned so much from, you know, the many people that I've been blessed to have called teammate or friend or acquaintance, you know, from over the years, and just have found ways that I can apply to my life and to my daily, you know, some of the things that they're about. You know, and I think on a grander scale, we should be able to do this as a country, but we don't want to because we have all the answers.
And that's a fact. And it's really sad, but it is so true. It is absolutely so true. And so sad at the same time. So
it's scary because, you know, we're headed to a scary place because of it. And again, you know, I try not to, like, a part of my journey and going to therapy is, okay, how can I, you know, maintain or stay in a, you know, a positive place as I can, despite Pandora's box being very much open and there's no going back. Like, we've opened it. Once
Pandora's box is open, it's definitely hard to go.
There's no putting the genie back in the bottle. So now it's like, okay, how can I, you know, emotionally and successfully navigate this genie? You know, how can I, you know, find those spaces of, you know, of safety, you know, those spaces of flourish, you know, because there is no putting the genie back in the bottle. You know, we've decided as a, you know, as mankind, we've decided we've pushed the self-destruct button, not to sound doomsday-ish, but, you know, it's just been so accelerated with, you know, social media and technology and all of these things. You know, you can globalize the madness, you know, and we choose to do that and, you know, to get lost in it and, you know, try to TikTok and twerk our way through it, or I'm a patriot my way through it, you know, and live in cognitive dissonance of everything. And you know, and again, that's a personal choice.
It is. This is never free TV. We don't judge nobody. Hey, what your choice is, knock yourself out.
You do what you do, and I'm gonna move accordingly.
That part right there. And nothing's wrong with that, okay? Nothing at all is wrong with that. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, y'all, man, you are tuned in to Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free TV. I hope that you guys are enjoying. I see some of you guys have been commenting as well. And thank you. Hello to everyone out there. Man, we love you guys so very much. If you want to leave a comment, if you want to ask a question, please feel free to do as such. I will be glad to pop it up here and let her see it and let her know that you guys are rocking out with her and y'all are loving her interview today, baby. We are spitting that good knowledge. So yes, make sure you put it down there in the comments. We'll see it and we'll pop it up. If you have a question or you just want to comment something, we have Key Williams said, so proud. They so proud of you. Miss Charnel, I see you, baby. Hello. She rocking with you today, Miss Meika. So yes, baby, we is in here. Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free TV. Make sure y'all keep sharing the show, letting everybody know that this is where we at. This is the place to be. And we getting it in right here with Miss Meika having, I told y'all she was bubbly. I told you. Man, for real, y'all don't know, man. Let me tell you.
It's selective bubbly.
Man, for real. That's what I loved it. Like, soon as the day I met, I was like, I got to have you on my show. Like, baby. And then she showed me her purses. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is funny because she was actually at a volleyball tournament when I met her. That's what she was doing. She was at a volleyball tournament. And she was like, I just got hungry and I seen all these black people over here. I wanted to know what was going on.
Black people in cowboy boots and hats and spurs. I was like, what is happening? Because, I mean, I'm from California, number one. So, I understand, like, some people from the South, you're from Texas, from Houston. Cool. Everybody got their boots. But, I'm from Cali. Then I went to Europe. So, like, black people with, like, Stetsons and boots and the whole, I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening over here? So I had a 2-match break. So I just started to meander, kind of around the corner and then found out that was the Cowboys of Color rodeo.
Yes.
And had I had the time, I would have bought a ticket and gone inside because that would have been a new one for me, and I've seen a lot of things in my life, but I thought that was just so unique and never thought about it, because all my life, I've always had the image of cowboys, being white.
Right.
And doing that sport and bucking on bulls and all this stuff. And so I went to see what time the show was, but I would have already had to go back for some matches. And then I tripped across that little catfish stand, Catfish Bayou, and oh my goodness.
I've been looking for them. I'm like, hey, why y'all need to be out here, baby? Because who wants some more of this catfish? Man, y'all look, Catfish Bayou, it was the truth. Yes, it was.
The truth. The that and fried corn on the cob. I'd never had fried corn on the cob before.
See?
So yeah, so I've gained 10 pounds since I've been living in the South. Needless to say.
Look, they know how to eat and they know how to cook. That's what I will say, baby. We know how to eat and we know how to cook. We didn't get all this voluptuous by not eating and cooking.
Yeah, I have been not behaving since I've been here. So
man, hey, I definitely understand it. I gotta ask you. So, how is you actually enjoy? Like I know that had to be almost a cultural shock.
Yeah.
You're like, so how have you actually been able to actually take that on and kind of adjust to those changes, especially with your business?
Oh wow! So my business right now, it's been a happy place and space. It's always been stop and go because right now volleyball is my main source of income as I'm growing my business on the side little by little. When I started it was funny because I used to work for 2 designers in LA. and gained a ton of experience. They both had small businesses. One of them was more focused on pattern making and the production aspect of it. And then the other one was like full on, like, you know, fashion runway shows, dressing celebrities, all of that. And I just learned so much from the both of them. And you know, and I was grinding. I was making like $11 an hour, and it started off as an intern, like not getting paid. So for like 3 months was like, you know, a non-paid internship. Did that for a couple of years, and I was like, you know what? I want to do this for me. And so I went ahead and I opened my business, opened it up, you know, like with opened the LLC, but wasn't producing or making anything. And then I landed a job at a group home. And so my shifts were like 3.5 days on, 3.5 days off. And so on my days off, I would basically just make bags, go hit a couple of, you know, outdoor, you know, art markets and, you know, fairs or whatever, things like that. And that was kind of my, you know, that was my gig, you know. And then meanwhile, I'm like setting up my website, put my little storefront up on Etsy. And I'm thinking, okay, I want to do this without going into debt, you know, and I want to be able to do this without, you know, asking people for money. And, you know, fast forward, I'm finally in a place where I have that seed money to kick it off, where, you know, how I would like to kick it off.
Right.
And it's been, you know, it's funny because I always kind of think about, oh my gosh, you know, I should be putting more into this, and I gotta, you know, I gotta grind more, and I gotta this, and I gotta that. And then in the interim, COVID, 2020, I'm in Idaho. I need a therapist, you know, all this stuff. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything.
Right.
And so, you know, now I'm at a point where I have the seed money to do it. You know, my new job, it's a contract job. So I'm 6 months on, 6 to 7 months on, 5 to 6 months off. So I'll really have that downtime and the money now to, you know, invest it in the right way. And I'm glad it actually took this long, because the landscape is, you know, is forcing me to change a business model. Because now with AI, there's, you know, I mean, this is something that can replace humans in a lot of industries, in the fashion industry particularly. And so this is all kind of, you know, forced me to like evaluate, okay, how am I gonna rock this? Because 3 years ago, it was completely different business model than what it has to be now.
Right.
Not completely different, but it's pretty different. It's pretty different. So, okay, so I see a question.
It is. She say, Esther, thank you for and asking your questions as well. So she say, this is so awesome. What is Meika's advice for women who get stagnant in their careers? Which is a good question, because a lot of times us as women, we do get stagnant because we get confused. We're not sure. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. We're trying to balance home. We're trying to, you know what I'm saying? We got so many different things. And sometimes we do actually get stagnant in our careers. And then she say, and when should they re-examine their current job and entertain pursuing different avenues? What a great question.
That one's loaded. Leave it up there so I can get it part by part.
Don't worry, baby. There she is.
Wow.
Yes.
So, wow. Let's see. So I will say I was stagnant in a career that I had to end because my body had an expiration date. Like I was going to get kicked out of that career sooner or later, regardless of whether I wanted to be or not. Right. And I longed for change. So when I walked away from volleyball the first time and just threw myself into fashion and then into the group home experience, I didn't want to have anything to do with volleyball. And I was actually grateful for for that possibility to just change. Like, this is so different, right? So my first piece of advice is, you know, if you're thinking about changing, embrace the change and take a chance. Obviously, have your ducks in a row. And I know that, you know, for us more than anybody, especially for Black women, you know, I've got friends of mine that, you know, when I was in college, they're like, oh yeah, my stock's this and my bond's that and my I didn't know about any of that stuff, right? I'm like, what are you talking? Like, that was a whole other world, for me.
Right.
And so I think now, that we have more exposure and opportunity to learn about those things in a more digestible way. Obviously, have your ducks in a row, be prepared financially to make that change. And if you are financially okay to make that change,
Man.
change. Because I go back to being an athlete. If something wasn't working, if I'm doing something, I'm practicing a technique, or I'm in a match and I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and I'm not having success, or it's not working, I have to change something. And sometimes that change takes time, because I have to go back in the gym, I have to look at video, I have to go back and correct this, boom, okay. And sometimes I'm already equipped to make that change, like I can make it on the fly, okay, boom, bam, result, right? But we have to change. So I definitely think embrace that feeling or that notion when the universe is telling you to do it differently. It will call you and tell you when it's not ready for you to leave.
That's a fact.
Because it keeps I know for me, I was ready to walk all the way away from volleyball. And I'm grateful and I'm blessed to be where I am right now. But if I had to walk away from volleyball tomorrow, I would be totally okay. Because I did it for 7 years and it was blissful. I was like, oh, this is so nice, to just not be an athlete, right?
Right.
I didn't root my identity in that. But something always would come back and tap me on the shoulder and would bring me back to either working with kids, i.e. the group home, or with volleyball. So after I left the group home, I got a random call from an old teammate of mine that was like, hey, can you come to Idaho? Can you plug for me? Because, I lost my assistant coach. He went on to take another job. Can you just come for 4 months and help me with this season? And so I was like, all right, God, all right, universe, you telling me to do this, let's go on and do this. So it's always, if when you make that change, if you feel like you're stagnant, make sure you find those moments of solace and clarity, because that is when, the universe is going to speak to you. That's when God's going to speak to you. That's when, you're going to find that dot that connects everything. It's like, okay, this is the next step. But sometimes you have to just, sometimes you got to jump out the nest and just flap your wings on the way down. And definitely you should, think about pursuing a change if you're not happy, if it's stressing you out, if, if there's more tears and stress than there are moments of calm, especially as Black women, we have enough to stress about
and
just walking outside the house. Since I've been here in Tulsa, I've been profiled. I got yanked out of a supermarket accused of stealing. I got profiled by a police officer. Saw my hand pay the toll out the window, and then he decided to pull me over because he saw that the hand was Black.
Wow.
I went to my boss's house to pick up some packages that we were expecting. And a neighbor, a Karen, if you will, walked by and was filming and getting ready to call the police. And I had to, so we have enough stuff we have to deal with on the daily. If you're in a position or a job where it is stressing you all the way out and it's costing you your peace, you definitely want to re-examine and think about, pursuing a different avenue, especially if you have, if you've got the financial stability to do it.
Right. And I would definitely agree with you, like 150%, because people don't understand, what I found out in doing what I do is when you find something that you love, you never work a day in your life.
Facts.
And that's what I realized that, of course, when people call me and say, hey, what you doing? I got to be like, I'm working, so they'll understand what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's not work. It's just doing what I love to do. Yeah. And as long as you do that, you will be all right. You just have to keep striving and keep knowing. Like I said, you don't have to, don't do something that you don't love. Because one thing that I know is if you're doing it because you like it, you're not going to be there long. You know,
Yeah.
even with just a regular job, if you don't love it, you're not gonna stay. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find
No, you're
something in
not.
some way to get out of it.
And
Man, you
sometimes you
guys are
have to,
acting.
sometimes
Mhm.
you have to, like, again, I know my mom thinks I'm kind of hokey about it, but I do believe the universe conspires with us. I do. And I think life is very serendipitous. Things lead you to other things. And I look at, the choices that I've made based on, pursuing things that I love to do. So I used to love to play volleyball, and I pursued it, and it turned into, a 20 plus year career and took me around the world.
Right.
And it's like, and in
Mhm.
that I discovered, okay, I have this creative vein. I don't really know what it is, but let's try it. Let's see what this is. And now I'm pursuing that artistic path, and it has really led me to some very like unique and interesting relationships that have, you know brought me
Mhm.
back to volleyball. And
Right.
this is how crazy it is. So the coach that called me to coach at Idaho, her best friend owns the club that I work for. And so she hit me up out of the blue, like, hey, can you come down here and help me out with my club? And I had just left Idaho. My contract had just, it had just run out with Idaho. So I was home, just kind of chilling out. And I'm like, okay, let me give it some thought. And I'm like, yeah, sure. She's like, come on down to Tulsa. It's not like Moscow. It's a little different. And I'm like, okay, it's different racism, but it's, but
It's still same, but
it's still,
okay.
but it is way more chill than where I was. I'm not, there's a lot more
That's
diversity
good.
down here. Um, you know, Things are a lot more accessible. Let's just put it that way. Um,
Good.
and so those two are best friends. So she hits me up, and she was also my teammate. And she's like, hey, can you come help me with this club? And I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it. And then I end up going to a tournament, and then I end up seeing Cowboys of Color, and then I run into you. So, I mean, everything kind of just, you just kind of have to like listen, keep your ears open and your eyes open for those moments where, God's tapping you on the shoulder, like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm not done with you yet here. So you're gonna
That's
have to
right.
do this. I would love to just go be in the trees and go sit on a mountain or an island and just be artistic all day, every day, and make tons of money from it. That to me, that's the dream. That's the dream right there.
That is a
Have a
great dream. Sounds
yeah,
wonderful. Look,
have
sounds
a
wonderful.
yeah,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
have a people, like people I love, I care about, vice versa. Just chill and vibe out until it ain't time for me to vibe anymore.
That
Um,
part.
but sometimes the Lord be like, look, sis, you ain't there yet. So you're gonna have to come do this, or you're gonna have to come and do that. And I can always tell, when I'm able to find those moments of clarity, it's like, you're gonna need to do this right now.
Already.
And I just trust it and just kind of go with it.
And you know what? That's kind of what you have to do. You just got to trust it and just go with it, because a lot of times, we have to understand that our plans ain't always the best plans. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But God's plan is always the perfect plan. And so as long as we stay remembering that, because sometimes we get in our own way. That's what
All
I'll
the
say.
time.
Yeah, we get in our own way. And we
All the
stop our
time.
blessings and all kinds of stuff. But if you just stay still and just keep pushing, you'll be all right. So,
Hmm.
man, you guys, y'all keep on bringing them in. Keep on bringing them in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Latima Jones says, I've been enjoying this interview. Thank you, Latima, for rocking out with us. I'm fixing to
My
put
people are on.
Yes,
Yay.
they is on, baby. They is on. They is in here in the building. So we got our Raven Bay K with hers. And Esther said thank you for answering her question as well. So we definitely appreciate that. Don't worry, everybody. I promise I'm gonna get to everybody. Y'all keep dropping your questions in here. I'll keep dropping your questions in here. Okay. So Raven say the Raven Bay Kate. I don't like to disrespect nobody, so please, I apologize. But she said I had a dream of a career in design and fashion, but life had other plans for me. Meika, you are such an inspiration, and I am truly one of your biggest fans. Man, that right there
So
is
that's my bestie from high school. We
see?
met we
Ow.
met at 13 years old, and this is something funny. So you know, she is also the reason I do what I do, but I didn't realize it at the time. So
Mm.
when I was a
Mhm.
kid, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. because mom with, mom's, dad's working and trying to keep it together. And, it's hard, right? So, we had that support system with my grandfather. I'm pretty sure when my mom had me, he wanted a boy because he did all the boy stuff with me. Trucks,
I'm pretty sure.
Transformers, BB guns, tractors. I did all this boy stuff with my grandfather, who, God rest his soul and bless him. He was my number one fan, and he's the one that really introduced me to sports and got me into it. So I was very much a tomboy. Then I get to high school and I meet Veronica, and she is the girliest girl on the planet. Okay? I've heard her curse 3 times ever in life, ever. Like, she is so thus and so. And so, we start hanging out with each other, whatever. And so she is like a Barbie fanatic to this day. Homegirl, nice. Barbie, everything. So we used to sit and hand sew clothes for Barbies, her Barbies. So
nice.
We're playing with Barbies at 14, 15 years old. Hand sewing the clothes, doing these fashion shows, whatever.
See?
It was pretty funny. She didn't have a Ken doll. I had a Michael Jackson doll that my mom got me as a souvenir. So I would just bring him over with his silver glove. It was whew. I think back on it, I have to smile. But I never knew that, that would come full circle one day. I never knew. And so, I just shout out to all my girls that are on here listening, and I love all of you.
Yes.
Deeply, profoundly, and I appreciate all of you. And Mom, if you're listening, love you. Dominic, if you're listening, love you too. And Gina too.
Yes. And
that's
actually, we're going to put Dominic's on here right now, because that's what he said. He said, great interview. He said, where do you draw your inspiration from when you are working on a new design for a bag?
Ooh, everywhere, man. It just depends. It depends on the moment. It depends on the day. It depends on a vibe, a mood. I know when 2020 hit, I was just really just going through it, just thinking about how important, our ancestors are, and their stories that are still being told, now that they're gone, and their stories that are continually being stifled,
Right.
I know in 2020 I designed several bags that were based on the transatlantic slave trade, but because my mind, I don't know, my creative process, everybody has their own, it's a little different. So I basically did research on the cross section of what the ships look like and the shapes. Nice. And then I just pulled it out of there. So if you looked at the bag, you would never know that that's what that's from. You would never, ever know, that it came from a space, a dark space, a reflective space. Other times, I'm often very inspired by nature. I love flowers. I hate bugs, but I love bugs. So it's I'll look on the internet and just see these colorful, color combinations on spiders and just different bugs and snakes and frogs and just stuff. And now if I see one, I will freak out. Get it away. But,
right.
But to look at how, nature is just so very perfect in the color combinations and just all of that and the balance of it, I often draw inspiration from there as well. It really just kind of depends on the mood I'm in.
Hey, trust me, I think that's really for every artist, for every artist that does something creative. It always goes with our flow, our mood swings. You know what I'm saying? What we feeling on that day, what we seen on that day, what we heard on that day, how we was grooving on that day, whatever it was. It's always about that one little thing that might just pull us in, and it draws us near to it and be like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I ain't gonna say it's sad. I say it's actually beautiful that we are able to actually take something that's very dark and make something very beautiful.
Yeah, because it's attached to something very beautiful. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Facts.
I got into doing like a series of bags using mud cloth, and I remember it all kind of sparked for me taking the 23andMe, so or
Okay.
ancestry.com, whatever it was, it's ancestry.com, and then I looked at the percentage of, you know, what different countries I was from in Africa. And then I'm like,
Nice.
okay, so I'm going to go into these countries, and then I'm going to just like delve into like what tribes are here. And then I'm going to
Okay.
delve into the tribes and, you know, and just read about them and, you know, what are they wearing? And, you know, just, and then I would just gather a bunch of images, and then just, I mean, wherever my brain took me after that. I remember I designed one bag. I started out with the Tuareg, which is a nomadic culture from Mali. And so I'm 5% Mali from, you know, whatever, the DNA from Mali. And so there's different tribes in Mali. And so
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
started looking at the Tuareg. And I found some images of just these beautiful people. And there was this girl, and she just kind of had her head down, and they, you know, they have, they're famous also for wearing like this indigo dyed like garb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing started there, but the bag actually, the shape of it came from an earpiece she was wearing, like an earring. And so
Wow.
like all of that led me to that. So I want to get through
Wow.
all of the different tribes of all of the, you know, the parts of where my DNA from Africa comes from, and design a bag inspired off that. I also did another one from based on the Himba people, who have like the orange, like the clay in their hair.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Himba people. So I designed a couple bags based on them. There's just inspiration really everywhere.
It really is. It really is. I mean, we find the inspiration in the most simplest things, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and so that's what I love about being an artist, is because it allows you to just be free.
It does.
And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes we just need to feel free when we always got so many things beating us down, going on, going on. We got to do this, we got to do that. Because in this world that we live in, we're always so busy, always so busy. It's always so chaotic.
It
And
is.
so to be able to just be free is really breathtaking, you know? And I swear, like, that's really what we need in our lives, is to be able to just have that free moment.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand. If you took 30 minutes a day just to be free, let your mind free, let your hair down, let just be free, like decompress. 30 minutes a day. And I know people say, oh, I don't have time for that. But you have time for social media. But you
Yeah.
have time for foolishness. But you have time to talk about people. But you have time to do all this.
And I'm guilty of all of it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I need to stretch. I need to like do my sound bowl, my yoga I need to do today. And it's like, let me just scroll over here.
Right. We all guilty.
I'm
We're all
guilty of
guilty.
it
I'm
too.
guilty. I'm guilty. I will not lie. Yes, I'm the guilty party. But we find time to do everything else except for the things that really help us out and the things that we really need. And I feel like 30 minutes a day, hey, we really need that in our life so we
Yeah,
can
we do.
decompress. And I believe that art and being artistic allows you to do just that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so that's what I love. And so, hey, that's dope. So I'm gonna go over here and read some of these comments because they coming in quick. They coming in hot. So y'all keep bringing them in. I promise. So of course, your bestie, there she is.
Barbie is life. And we named it V&M Fashions. We really did. So,
See? Now y'all see?
Veronica and Meika.
Hey, there you go. Yes. And of course, Latima say she love you, friend.
Love you too, friend.
And then she go again. She love your creative process.
And all my friends have been so supportive. They all have. They've been so supportive of my journey. I can't, I can't express how grateful I am to like have known all of these like incredibly strong and beautiful women over the years. Like, I mean, some of these relationships are 2 and 3 decades strong. Um, I got a new friend that I met recently, and she is awesome sauce. I mean, she is fierce. You know who you are.
Hey.
And I feel blessed when I'm able to, to meet people, that you're able to vibe with like that, and I've had the opportunity to do that here, and also, when I was playing overseas, and I'm just very grateful for that.
Already. I know that had to be a grateful journey. So I want to ask you, like, out of all the bags that you made, what would you say was your favorite one?
Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I learned to detach when I make them, because I know I'm gonna, sell it, or it's gonna be up to sell. So I don't necessarily have a favorite one.
Okay.
But I know that I'm very, like, when I make them, I'm very invested in that process. So it's like the newbie is my favorite one for that moment, and then I detach.
Okay.
And I know it sounds weird, but I kind of also think it's because of how, when I played as a pro, you're on a team for X amount of time with this small group of women and your coach, and you have to make it work, and you bond, and then the season's over, and boom, some of you will never see each other again. Some of you will never play with each other. You might play against each other, but it's those like intense, make it work, do it, pull off the victory, whatever it is, whatever the goal is, and then okay, detach. And so I think that's kind of a part of how I'm wired.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't know. I've never even sat and thought. Like, I'll have a favorite one for a minute, and then okay, I'm done with you. Let's make a new one.
Okay. Hey, I love it. But of course, I gotta put this one up there. She say, no, it's the one that you made for her. That one right there. That one right there. That's the one. That is the one, baby. She said that's the one. Okay. So yeah,
it is. That was a cool one. That was a cool one. And I made that one with mud cloth. And then my brother had asked me to make him a bag, because he's a DJ in Australia.
Okay.
He's super artistic. He's musically inclined, and DJs and hip hop artist. He raps, does all this stuff. And so he asked me to hook him up with a bag so he could carry his vinyls. And I used some of the same mud cloth that I used for Esther's bag. And then I made him a bucket hat also. It was with mud flaps. It was an interesting request. My brother's interesting.
Nice.
We're all have a creative vein.
That's a good thing. So, what would you say would have been your hardest one to actually make, and why?
The hardest one. I'd probably say the hardest one was one I did. This had to be back in 2011. Because I didn't have my industrial machine then, and I didn't have, access to all these different, materials and things. Like I said, I was just coming out of a divorce. And so, financially, things were topsy-turvy. Emotionally, things were topsy-turvy. I had $100 sewing machine and, some scraps that I would pick up from like the local fabric store, and, a couple needles, and, just kind of make some stuff work. But I would say the hardest one I made so far was this one that I kind of based on the vertebrae and rib cage. And so the face of the bag, but my interpretation of it. So the bag, it's a square, but it has protruding like this centerpiece where it sticks out, and then these horizontal pieces that stick out like little shelves, and then in between I drape chains in between it. And so to figure out how to make that structure and make it stand and function and stuff like that, that was probably the most difficult one I've made.
Okay.
And then I repeated it and made it again in leather, and that was one of the ones that the designer I worked for used for his runway show.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. So what was it like to be in a runway show in a in fashion week? Because that is actually major. And a lot of people don't get people don't know that even though you're a designer or you're in the fashion, everybody don't get to be in fashion week.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
um,
It's not just everybody get the chance. No. And so what was that like? What was that opportunity and that experience like?
oh man, that was awesome. I've always been, um, I've always loved fashion. Like I can go back to when I was in my early 20s and just remember that I've always loved it. Um, and so when I was working for that designer, just even grinding, 12, 13, sometimes 14-hour days, finishing at 2 o'clock in the morning and just turn around, get up. Okay, we got to prep for a fashion show. Like even being
Hmm.
behind the scenes of all that, it was so motivating and just so fun. As stressful as it could get, it was just fun. And
Nice.
and when he, saw my, and I would go to work and I bring my bags. And he's like, "Did you make that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you make that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you make that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know what? What if I put him on the runway with some of my models?" I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And so it
Hmm.
was LA Fashion Week, and it's not the premier Fashion Week. It's not Paris. It's not Milan. It's not
Right.
New York. But you know what? It's still a freaking fashion week, and people,
And is.
you know,
And is.
and for LA, it's kind of a big deal. And and to be able to see my stuff come down a runway on a model, it was inspiring for me. And I was grateful to have that opportunity.
Right.
I was
Right.
grateful to have it. I loved that job. Oh my gosh. It was so, and we were very much like family there. Everybody was real cool. So,
Nice.
it was like you said, if you find something to do that you love, you're never going to work, you're never going to work
Yep.
another day in your life. The only
Yeah.
problem was, it's not lucrative. You don't get to make a lot of money. And, in Southern California, you need more than $12 an hour to live.
Yes. Yes. Baby, if you $12 in California, baby, we know where you at. Don't even worry about
Yeah.
it. We know where you at.
Mhm.
Okay. Trust me. We know where you at. We definitely know. So don't even worry. We know.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love you guys' comments. I love that you're interacting and all that stuff. Please feel free to keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. We got a few more minutes and stuff, and so we gonna keep them coming. So of course, Latina say I love showing off the bags I brought from you. People always ask me about them. Dope,
Hey, girl. That's my girl. Um,
dope.
so Latima, this is a funny story about Latima. So I'll make a bag, and I usually, um, they're all prototypes in the beginning. So if it comes out like trunk type, perfect, boom, it's like, okay, I got to go back. I have to pattern it because sometimes I'll just cut straight into the leather. I won't even
Mm,
like do the pattern first. I'll just go straight to the leather and do it, and then I'll have
okay,
to go back and figure out the
right.
pattern for it. And a lot of them are like prototypes, and so every time I make a prototype, team will be like, "Oh, girl, how much is that one? I love that." And so she probably brought like half of my prototypes that I've ever.
Hey, one of a kind, baby. Got to have be one of a kind. Got to
Yeah.
do you. You know what I'm saying? And that's always the best part. Like that's who I am. Hey, Latima, I'm not mad at you because I'm the same way. I don't want to see a whole lot of people walking around with the same bag that I got on, or got the same shoes, or the same whatever, the same jewelry or whatever. And so I get it. I get it. I want one too. Can I get that, please? Run it to me. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So, of course, Veronica say my flight attendant travel theme bag is the fave, of course. Okay.
So she's got one with just like all these different countries and cities,
Oh,
from all over
nice.
the world. Like the fabric is actually like these just different countries and cities from all over the world.
Oh,
And that's
beautiful.
that's how the print is. And so she's a flight attendant, loves her job, loves to travel. Like that's her passion, that's her jam. And so when she saw that fabric, she's like, I need a bag made out of that. I'm like, okay.
Hey, at least you know who to call and the right one to take it to, And it's always good to have a friend. I always tell people, boy, you got to have friends in almost everything because you never know who gonna do what, where you can, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. And man, that's the best way to have it, man. I'm sorry, but hey, I like having friends like that.
Yeah, they're all sisters. Like this, they're family. All of them.
Yes,
Every
yes.
last one of them. I so appreciate them as as women, as people, as Black women, as spirit energies, as children of God. All of them. They're all just beautiful, beautiful people, and I'm so lucky to have them in my life.
Amen. Amen.
And that's some friends
Amen.
and fam.
Already. Oh, you got to tell me about this orange camo bag.
Okay, so this was one that I had. I remember just going to one of my favorite spots where I get leather in LA, and sometimes they'll have like just big scrap bins, because sometimes they'll buy like dead stock or whatever from other different, leather suppliers. And so I ran into like these big scraps of like the base was beige, and it was an orange and turquoise cheetah print. I think she misspoke. She didn't mean camel. I think she meant cheetah print. I think.
No,
But it's
she's
like
saying it's mine, all mine. Whatever
so
it is, it's hers.
it's
Okay. And
hers.
ain't nobody gonna
It
get
ain't
it but her.
nobody else's. So I saw it and I combined it with orange leather, and then
Oh,
I
nice.
replicated a bag that I had made back when I was still living in Italy in 2011. I'd always wanted to like replicate this particular bag in leather, and it was a prototype. And now I've locked down the final design for it. But she
Okay.
got that. She's like, girl, give me that one. That's the one. That's the one. And I'm like, girl, it's a prototype. I don't even know if this is gonna work. So
She didn't care. She said it's
yeah,
mine, all mine. All mine. And she wanted it. It's hers, okay.
she's funny, man.
Yes, 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 yes. Hi, Lori. Lori says this woman is straight up fire, creative, determined, inspiring, here for it all. And my bag is in constant rotation. I know that's right.
Back at you, L'Oreal.
Yes, yes, yes. See, I love. I told y'all, I get all y'all. Don't even worry. I got y'all. Yes. Yeah, for all of it, for all of it. And I love this comment right here. Friends who become family. That is really important because I feel like right now friendships just ain't what they used to be. There's no loyalty anymore. There's no more sisterhood like it should be. And so when you do find real friends, they are your family, and you keep them and you hold on to them because they're so hard to come by these days. They really are.
Yeah.
And so, man, hey,
Good
y'all
people in general.
strong. Yes.
Good people in general are so hard to come by. Like the quality of human being has definitely depreciated over the last 10 to 15 years.
That part.
The quality of human being is man. And again,
we changed.
Do you? I'm not gonna judge, but I'm gonna move accordingly.
That part right there. Me too. Look, what they say, exit stage to the right.
Yep. No judgment zone. I'm just gonna move over here.
Yeah. Already. Oh, see, she said she still have her orange
camo diaper bag.
She said it's a tote bag now. It used to be a diaper bag, but now it's a tote bag. Okay. See, we got them for different reasons, and that's how you got to do it, baby. You got to switch them out.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. You guys have been definitely so great and so awesome. And of course, I have definitely enjoyed my time. I've enjoyed you being here. You are always definitely welcome.
Thank you. Man, Thank you for having me.
And man, hey, do you have some of those bags close to you? Because I would love for the people to
I got to get up from my spot real quick and go grab a couple, but I have some actually that I was loading up onto my store, but I can go get some.
Okay, well, why you doing that?
Play some mood music or something.
Right. Look, while she's doing that, don't y'all worry. I am going to actually post the link because I want you guys to actually have the link as well. Well, maybe. Yes, I want y'all to have this link as well. I am going to post it in the comments. So that way you can go and show your love and support. Make sure, because that's what we do here. We support. I cannot say it enough because guess what? That's what we do, man. Support is good. We have to start supporting each other. We have to start loving on each other a lot more, spreading love throughout the land. That's what we do. That's why it's called Too Long, because we went gone way too long, and it's time to come back home. Okay, that's what it is. We've been gone way too long, and it's time to come back home. So y'all get ready. She has to show us these good bags, and the link is in. Oh my gosh, how pretty is that? Oh yeah.
So this is like a cheetah print calf skin with fringe. And the reason I put these little screws on it is because I used to have a pair of flyaway Adidas pants, and it just reminded me of my flyaway Adidas pants. And
nice. Look, you went way back in the day. You said flyaway Adidas pants.
Yep.
Baby, if y'all don't know nothing about that, baby, see that's telling our age for real right there.
So this is just another like little pouch.
Okay.
Simple metallic leather. So this is another one I've been working on. So this is a combo. This is pony hair.
I love that.
With deconstructed serape blanket. So this one's very much inspired by Southwest and Mexico and Mexican culture. And then I have this one, which is it's a big old version of it. So this is all leather.
Oh, nice. I like that.
With the deconstructed serape blanket. It's got pockets. It's got plastic on the inside now, but
of course,
it's pretty roomy. This is like a travel bag. So this is some of the stuff I do.
Nice.
And I love to make, and everybody's like, oh, you gotta, I've had like people say, oh, you gotta manufacture them and you've got to do this and you've got to do that. And I know I do. But I think one of the things I love is the creative process. I love making something new every time. And, I want to find a way to still respect the artist in me and not so much conform to what's fashion forward, even though I do take some inspiration from kind of what's in and trending. I don't ever want it to look like something that somebody else is doing. I want it to look very much me. So I'm figuring out, and within my business model, what is this going to look like? Is this going to look like limited runs for, boutiques? Is this going to look like, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Hey, you are definitely boutique ready. And I will definitely say that you really are. They are absolutely gorgeous. And of course, so many women, I know a bunch of women, we actually getting ready to do a conference as well, a women's conference. So I know so many women that's going to be like, oh yeah, I need one of them. And I know my mommy, my godmommy, and my mama is probably watching this right here. And they probably like, oh yeah. And probably, baby, trust me, I'll be getting the inbox like, when I'm getting my bag. So that's what I get, because that's what you do. What happens when you a daughter, you just, hey, when I'm getting my bag. So don't worry, I'll be on there getting ready to get some bags.
Okay.
Baby, if I don't, I'm liable to be missing, okay? And I ain't trying to come up missing. I'm just saying, when you got a mama and a godmommy, boy, they do not be playing, okay? They want their stuff immediately, okay? So, or if I'm going to come up missing, and I ain't trying to come up missing, so I'm going to make sure that I do that immediately.
We don't play.
At all, especially when it comes to our fashion. And like I said, we getting ready to go on this revival, and so I know that she's definitely gonna want one. She's definitely gonna be like, oh yeah, I got to have my bag, even though she probably already got 4-5 of them already packed, and we gonna be, I don't know, we might not even be able to make it in the car because all her bags, but Hey, we love it anyway. So one more ain't gonna hurt. One more ain't gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? So hey, but that is so great. But hey, y'all, if you want to get in where you fit in, the link is in the description. Please make sure you click on it and go support, 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 support. I cannot say it enough. Make sure you go get your bag today, because yes, I'm on my way. I'm running. Okay, I almost got it in the bag. You know what I'm saying? It's in my cart right now. I'm running. We getting it together. So yes, y'all, make sure that you go and show your love and support right now. And of course, I gotta put this one up here right now, because of course, you know, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. And of course, Lori says, I always appreciate the way Meika combines her artistic style against the cultural backdrops of her inspiration, blended artistry at its best. And you are absolutely right, Lori. Like, I could not agree with you more, darling. Like I said, the first time I saw her, she was like, yeah, I made this bag. I was like, girl, what? She was like, yeah, honey. And she was just rocking it like it was nobody's business, like she didn't make it at all. She was rocking it like she didn't make it at all. And I mean, we just had a great time standing in the line waiting on some fish. That's how, hey, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. You never know. Yes, that is the correct link. If we have another link, I will make sure that it gets in there to you. But yes, that is the correct link to her, so that you can get in where you fit in. Okay. So yes, ma'am, it is. So hey, I can, again, like I said, I am so excited. I'm greatly appreciative, you know, that you came and you took time out with me to hang out with me, you know, out of your busy schedule, because I know between fashion and volleyball and just life period,
it gets hectic. Yeah,
it does. But you took time out to come and embrace us with your presence, your beauty, your bubbly personality. And I so love it, because that's what this show is about empowering, enriching, and encouraging others to be better than they were yesterday. And you have definitely inspired us today. If nobody else tells you that, I want you to know, Queen, you are amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
the work that you are doing, because we need it, and we need that sisterhood. And I'm grateful. You know, I feel like God makes no mistakes, none whatsoever. And I feel like it was meant for us to meet on that day. And so I am just truly, truly honored and truly, truly blessed to have met you, and to be able to just hear your story, because it's so inspiring.
Thank you.
She really is. I would definitely say that. I gotta put that up there. Yes, she is definitely a force by herself, all on her own. Okay, she don't need no assistance, no help, no nothing.
No, I'm a force because my village is a force.
Amen. People,
I'm a force because you can't do it by yourself.
You sure can't. You sure
independent as a lot of times we want to be, or we fall into that trying to do it on our own. We can't. You know, you always need somebody.
Right. And that's a fact. Latima says it looks like Alberta's page is in Italian. So we'll get the another link for you guys to make sure we'll get that, and make sure we get that posted here as well and all over the pages. So you guys will definitely have it, because I want you guys to go show your love and support on how to get your bag today. How to, you know, and follow her, man. Make sure you follow. People don't understand your love, your support, a like, a heart, or anything. That is telling us everything. That's just letting us know that, hey, we are definitely on the right page, and that you support us. So make sure that you guys are definitely doing that. Okay, support. I cannot mention that enough. Please make sure you guys go and support. And of course, Latina says she is so proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, you are definitely a force to be reckoned with. I definitely will agree with that. And so before I let you go, because I don't want to just keep holding you hostage because I can all day and all night because you are amazing, okay? You are amazing, but I don't want to keep holding you hostage. But before we get out of here, I do want to ask you if you could tell the world anything to keep them encouraged, inspired, and empowered to be better than they were yesterday, what would that one thing be?
That one thing would be to go heal your inner child.
Wow. Dope.
Go heal your teenager. Go heal your young adult. Go heal your older adult. Go heal that person. Because all of those are within us. And, you know, when things get ugly, you know how they say hurt people, you know? And so I would encourage everybody to take that journey if they can, because I know, you know, not everybody has the economic means to be able to do it, but, you know, within whatever capacity that you have to start to heal, you know, take that journey, start it. It's never too late. I wished I had done it earlier.
Hey, a whole lot of us, trust me.
But better late than never. So.
And that's a fact. And that's a fact. Yes. Trust me. I wish I had taken it earlier. If somebody had told me, I probably would have. Maybe. I don't know. But hey, I definitely wish I had it. But I'm glad that I took it now. And I'm glad that I'm going through the process. I'm glad that I'm being able to be better than I was yesterday. Because yesterday I was a hot mess. But today, you know. Hey, so
it happens to me all the time now that I'm carrying menopause. I got a hot mess at least once a month. Literally.
I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, yesterday I was a hot mess. Today I'm all right though, okay? And it's all about making sure that we take accountability and have fun with it, because you have to be honest with you. That's the main thing that you have to do. And if you have not learned anything in this particular segment, was to be honest with you, that it's okay to pull off all the layers, and it's okay to just recognize who you are and find that true inner peace within yourself and to love you unconditionally. If you did not learn that in this segment, well, I'm gonna say go watch the replay, okay? That's what I'm gonna tell you. Go watch the replay because I want you to get the message, okay? I'm just saying. Go watch the replay, okay? But no, I really want you guys to definitely be better. And I hope that you did get something out of this particular interview, this particular segment, because that's what this show is all about. That's why it's called Too Gone, Too Long, Judgment Free Radio, Free TV. I'm sorry, I do the radio too. So if y'all looking for some good music, go to the radio side. But this is TV. And we're going to have great people coming through, bracing you with their presence and teaching you and educating you on so many things that we need. We need to be inspired, and that's what this show is going to do, because we have been gone way too long. There's no more love, and we are going to spread love throughout the land. That's what our show is based on. That's what our show is about, and this show is for you, okay? So you guys hey, keep your questions coming. Keep your ideas coming. Let's talk about it. All kinds of things. You guys have so many different ways to be able to interact and share your views. And of course, if you want to be on here as well, make sure you guys do that. So I'm going to post the link in the description as well, so that way you guys can stay in the know, and get to meet beautiful people like Meika. Yes.
Thank you for sharing your platform. I appreciate you.
Hey, anytime, any place, darling, you are always welcome. And I thank you so very much for coming through, for sharing with us, for sharing your story. It was such a beautiful and inspiring story. And I know so many of us will definitely hold on to the words that you said tonight, because you encouraged so many of us to just keep moving, just keep pushing, no matter what it may look like. Just keep pushing. So thank you so very much for your presence. Thank you so very much for coming through. And again, you are always welcomed in the building. And of course, I'm gonna put this one up here before you go, because I like for people to see. So yes, so thank you for your voice and your inspiration. Before you go, is there any last words that you would like to embrace us with before we say good night?
Yes, Esther is awesome sauce.
Yes, she is.
She the one and the two.
Okay.
She the one
There.
and the two.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. There y'all have it. There y'all have it again, Meika. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
into the building and embracing us with your presence and sharing your story with us. Man, I cannot tell you how much I greatly and truly am humbled to have met you, to hear your story. And I cannot wait for us to go to Catfish Bayou again. Let's get
Period.
together, man. Let's go
Period.
get us some corn, okay? Yes, let's
Okay.
go get us some fried corn. That's what we gonna do, and eat us some good fish, okay? Anybody else want to come? Holla at us. Y'all know where we'll be. We'll be at Catfish Bayou. That's where we'll be. So, all right, darling. Thank you so very much for joining us. And hey, I love you. I love you so much. Keep spreading love with your beautiful personality throughout the land. And hey, y'all make sure y'all go support. And if you get it, if you have another link, shoot it to me and I'll throw it in the what's name.
Will
Okay.
do. Will
All
do.
right, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed one, darling.
You too. You too.
All right. Man, there y'all have it. Miss Meika, baby. She's in here, baby. She in here with us, doing it. So, man, I love you guys. Man. So before we get out of here, y'all already know, please make sure y'all go support my girl. Please, 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 whatever you do, make sure you go support. Okay. And of course, the link is in there. Oh, Latima, you are welcome. She is such a beautiful person. And I am so honored and so glad that she came in here and embraced us with her presence and all of that stuff. She was so super awesome. Y'all make sure y'all go support. As soon as we get that link, I promise I will put it in the thing. But before we go, you guys know we also do our love letters and our let's talk about it before we get out of here. So I got to share because they came in. And so, I got to give it. And of course, if you want to share your love letter with somebody, yes, all you have to do is click on the link, okay? Linktree, Too Gone Too Long, JFR. Make sure you guys go click on the link. You can send your love letters. You can send your let's talk about it. If you want to be a guest on our show, please make sure you do that, okay? Because we want you. Yes. If you have something that you do that's educating people, come on in, because that's what this show is about. It is no judgment here, okay? We don't tolerate it. We don't accept it, okay? So there's no judgment, but we're going to have lots of fun, lots of love through our land. That's what we're going to do. So before I let y'all go, of course, I got to do these love letters because they came in, right? So I got to do that. So it says, Eunice, sometimes love can be so complicated. Well, at least that's what I thought until the day I met you, and you changed the way I think and see love. I thank God for you every day and excited to be able to call you mine. I'm looking forward to the remainder of our lives and this journey of love. I wouldn't want to be on this journey with anyone else than you. Keep letting your light shine and know I got your front and your back. Okay, now I know that's right. Well, you will always be my king, and I will forever be your queen. Love always, your Lady Belle. So, Eunice, hey, Lady Belle says she loves you. So you are her king, and she will forever be your queen. So, hey, much love to y'all. Much love to you, Eunice and Lady Belle. May it all work out. And thank y'all for sharing your love letters. If you want your love letter heard, right here, yes, that's what we doing, baby. We do love letters. And then of course we talk about it as well. So if you want to have your love letter heard, or you want to share a love letter to somebody, please please, please, because that's what it's about, spreading love throughout the land, okay? Go and share. Go, share, okay? Go over there to Linktree, Too Gone Too Long JFR. The link is in the description. Make sure that you go and click on it, okay? And then, of course, we got our Let's Talk About It. And this is the segment where y'all all know Lady V got to give you her professional opinion because I'm professional. And then, of course, I got to give you my hood opinion, right? So I got to give you both of them because sometimes y'all know that I ain't always right. But hey, so this one say, Dear Queen V, I've been with my job for 6 years and I finally have the chance to shine, but there's one problem that I have. I was placed under a two-faced, lying, evil, wig-wearing, no edges, bat lashes. You know what? I'm done. I ain't finna play with y'all, but this how you say it. Bat lashes supervisor, and I'm ready to kick her ass and quit. I really like my job and have been waiting for this opportunity for so long, but I'm ready to fight and need your advice as to what I should do so I don't lose my job. Please help me. Sincerely, ready to fight. Okay, well, ready to fight. I need you to sit down and stop being ready to fight, okay? That's all I'm saying. Sometimes we too quick. We always want to jump when we need to just sit back and evaluate the situation. See, sometimes we have to make sure that when we getting ready to do what we do, we got somebody that's there. And then we got to be civil. Because guess what? Everything don't need a fight. And that's our problem. We always want to fight. We don't always need to fight, okay? So that's if you don't want to lose your job, then I would say sit down and do not do no fighting. Just let her do what she gonna do. Report her because you know you can do that because you have rights. And keep it pushing. See, a lot of times we go to these jobs and we trying to be their friends. We want to be this. We want to be that. Baby, go to work and go home. That's your job. Go to work, go home. Okay? That's it. That's all. Go to work, go home. You don't have to worry about the, what you call it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get it. The two-faced, lying, evil, wig-wearing, no edges, bat lashes supervisor. If you just do your job and go home, you ain't got to worry about that, baby, because she will no longer be, she won't even be relevant. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. And so I don't really have a hood answer on that. Other than you don't need to lose your job. Like who? First of all, why is we out here losing jobs anyway? I'm just saying, jobs is hard to come by. It's a bunch of them out here, but of course they ain't hiring like they claim to be, okay? So you don't need to be losing no jobs in these times, in these days of times, period. If you losing a job, that is on you. Remember, that is a personal choice, okay? That's a personal choice. And if you making that type of personal choice, well, you can't be mad at nobody else but you, okay? Remember, everything we do has a reaction, whether it's good or bad. And we have to pay the piper, period. So make the best decision for you, okay? Ready to fight? Ready to fight? I don't want you to fight. I want you to sit down. I want you to write me next time and say I'm slow to fight, okay? Because you took my advice and you decided that she was not worth it because she just ain't. Ain't nobody worth losing your job over. Ain't nobody worth losing your income. And again, if that's what you're choosing, find something else, baby. I understand that you waited. And if you waited, then believe God don't make no mistakes. And he placed you in that position for a reason. So hold on to it. And don't allow nobody, because the enemy always wants to creep in. He always his job is to kill, steal, and destroy. That's his job. Don't let him creep in. Don't let him get no win over you. He don't get that. Okay? He don't get that. He don't get that. So that's what I'm going to say to you, ready to fight. and anybody else out there that's struggling and that's wondering and that's worrying, that's what I'm gonna say to you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Keep your sanity. And if you feel like you need to, find something else to do. Because again, when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. I do what I love. So I don't have to worry about two-faced and lying and conniving and wig wearing and bat lashes and all this stuff. I don't have to worry about none of that. Because that's why I work for me. See how that works? Gotta figure it out. Remember, people, it's a choice. In everything we do in this life, we have a choice. So you have a choice to be great or you have a choice to fight. But remember, your actions from fighting will cost you everything. And if you have kids, why should they have to suffer? See, some of y'all didn't think about that until y'all ain't got no job. And then you like, oh, my kids. Oh, my this and my that. Oh, my family. You should have thought about that before you started fighting. It's acting retarded, okay? So that's my thing right there. So I'm going to leave you with this one last thing before I get out of there. And then y'all already know this is Lady V's Power of Thought from the whole entire day. It just, y'all know, God always lays something on my heart to say. And this is what he put in my spirit today. But before I do that, I want to say again, thank you to Miss Meika for coming in and rocking out with me and all of us today and sharing her story, her beautiful story and her beautiful purses with us. Y'all make sure you go out there and support. I cannot say that enough. Make sure you support. Okay, it's very important. We do this because we love it, but we need your support. We do. We can't do it alone. So we need your support. And to all the queens and kings that came through the playoffs tonight, thank you. Thank you. I love each and every one of you. I just met you, but I love you. And you're always welcome here. Y'all can always come back and rock out with Lady V and anybody else that's in the playhouse. Okay. So y'all just tell your friends, tell your family that this is definitely where they want to be. And so y'all go support. And of course, I want to shout out to everybody that I'm associated with that rocks out with me on a daily basis, that helps make this possible as well. My record management, baby. Hey, Carl, I love you, baby. And all the team over there. Hey, y'all wonder, yes, my jury consultant, Miss Hill Reserve Bling Vault, Miss Cassandra Hill, yes, baby. Y'all make sure y'all go over there. Hill Reserve Bling Vault, baby. She gonna make sure you're frosted and staying in the game, making sure that you're oh so fabulous, okay? Shining like the star that you are, okay? Because y'all stars, yes, you are. And so that's what we want to do. So make sure you go over there with your and get your jewelry from Hill Reserve Bling Vault. And of course, you already know if you need some bags, you're going to who? Miss Meika, yes, you is. You going to her to get your bags. That's what you're gonna do, okay? And then, of course, we got the 2C parole reform that we rocking with as well. Hey, y'all, our loved ones, man, we got to make some change. We're about to make some history, and we need your help, okay? We need your help. I can't state it enough. So, man, y'all go and support. Yes, y'all make sure that y'all go and sign the bill. Hey, and if you got $5, all it takes is $5 to be a supporter, okay? $5. Go over there, sign the bill, and donate your $5 for the cause, man. Because this could be your brother, this could be your sister, this could be your mama, this could be your daddy that's being railroaded by the system. Okay? And it's time for us to make some change. So let's make history, and we need your help. Okay? We need your help. So go over there and support. Okay? And then, of course, my classy glams, my honesty, Miss Honesty, baby. Hey, y'all need a makeup artist? That's who you call, baby. Go to Classy Glams and let her glam you up, make you so beautiful, baby. Because she be in the, man, she puts you in the game, honey. So, yes, don't worry. I'm fit to get made up. What they say, make me over. hey, go to Classy Glam. She gonna make you over. And then, of course, if you need some prayer, if you need a church life, if you need a church home, I had to save them. I had to save them. But if you need a place to fellowship with real people doing real things, no judging, no calling, asking you for no money every time we hit the air, but we really giving you God's word, doing what we supposed to do, loving on each other, fellowshipping with each other, worshiping each other. Man, make sure y'all go check us out at Much Prayer, Much Power, because we understand that God is the head and not the tail. We also understand, baby, that there is much power in prayer. If you don't know, get you some. I'm telling you, I didn't know that until I started living this life and walking this journey, okay? So much prayer, much power, and faith over fear, baby. Faith over fear, man. What did I say? I mean, you can't say more than that. We gonna stomp on our fear, okay? And step out on our faith. That's what we doing. So, hey, let's get it. And of course, y'all already know that Too Gone Too Long, Judgment Free Radio, and Judgment Free TV. We in the building, baby. If you want to hear some of the hottest shows, man, we got jazz and neo soul. We got some, hey, we got whatever you need. We got gospel. Yes, we do. We have a variety show for you. We have an independent show for you. We got a love songs, a quiet storm after dark for you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that. And we play them old schools. We play a lot of different things. And so, hey, you never know what you're going to get. And like I said, we have a variety. We are a variety show. So we play everything, okay? Rock and roll. Hey, jazz, neo, soul, R&B, hip hop, we play it all. We do not Latina, we do not Afro, baby. We play it all. We don't discriminate because this is a non-discrimination network. Okay, that's why it's called Too Gone Too Long, Judgment Free. Okay, because we are judgment and free. That's right. Because we've been gone way too long. So yes. So I want to shout out to all of them, baby. And of course, y'all know I'm Elliot Night Professionals all day, all night. So shout out to all my peoples. I love you guys so very much. So very much. And I cannot thank you enough for showing your love and support. Because every time we hit the stage, you guys are here. And we could not do this without you. So thank you. Thank you so very much. I love you guys forever and a day, okay? And so this is what I'm going to leave with you. This is what I'm going to leave with you. This is the power of thought for the evening. No matter how hard the struggle, no matter how hard the fight, keep pushing until you get to the other side. Life may be challenging, but if you never give up on you, the reward will be plentiful and well worth the struggle and the fight. Whatever you do, don't give up on you, okay? We don't want you to give up on you. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who has been rocking out with us. Thank you to everybody who has definitely made this worth it and definitely made this network a success. It's all because of y'all. We couldn't do it by ourselves. So thank y'all so very much for rocking with us, loving on us. And hey, this was the last show for June. Yes, for the Juneteenth, because you know what? Lady V about to be in the wind, baby. In the wind, baby. Yes, I am. I'm about to be in the wind. Man, y'all keep but don't worry, because I'm coming to y'all, man. I got some things down the pipeline. We going to ATL, yes, taking it to the streets. Atlanta, baby, here we come. Yes, we are. In Texas, here we come, baby. We are doing big things. Y'all look for us, follow us, find us, whatever it is. Hey, but whatever you do, stay blessed. Stay blessed, okay? So the next time we come on, yes, my record management in the building, in the place to be. Yes, it is. That's what they doing. They coming through. So Kenzie Rose and Hollywood King, baby, they gonna come embrace you with their presence, and it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fire. And I hope that you guys are definitely ready for it. So hey, again, like I said, I I love you, babies. Man, this is why we do what we do. It's all because of you. Y'all keep making it possible for us. That's all I can say. Keep making it possible for us, and keep showing your love. Keep showing your support. Keep rocking with us. No matter how good or how bad it may be, just keep rocking with us, okay? And make sure you share, and go get your bag. Yes, and yes, mama, and yes, godmommy. I got y'all. I got you. Don't even worry. I got y'all. So, hey, babies, as always, stay blessed. Stay prayed up. And whatever you do, don't forget to tell somebody that you love them today, because tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. Too gone, too long. It's time to come back home, spreading love throughout the land. See you later, God's angels. See you later. Peace out. I love y'all.